Okay, so today's shir is sponsored by Yigal Dakar at songyadakar.com. So Yigal gave me a book yesterday of short little words, and we're going to try to answer ayin tachat ayin this morning in parshat mishpatim. You think it means an eye for an eye is how we translate it in English, and the idea is not necessarily an eye for an eye, but the value of an eye. So how did the rabbis come up with this? So there's two answers that I'll give, and one of them is when we finished the parsha yesterday, the last thing it says is when you walk up the ramp to the, you should not use steps, you should use a ramp so that your nakedness should not be uncovered. It's a very weird ending of the parsha where we've just heard the Ten Commandments, and the beginning of mishpatim says the Eli mishpatim, and these are the laws that you should place before them, and it starts talking about slavery. So one of the lessons here is, if I were Rabbi Sachs, I would say that the end of the parsha was all about human dignity, and now you're talking to a group of people that have just been slaves, and they're not this whole human dignity component continues talking to them what's their lives going to be like and what type of sensitivity they have to have for the people that they're going to be building this new world with. And so the first lesson is that you want to talk to people in the framework that they're in. So the first lesson that Moshe starts to talk to them about is talking to them about slavery, because that's what they were. Now, the thing is that we say today we're in a service economy in America. That's the first service economy was back in Egypt. And the way that people valued their services was through the things that they did, their eyes, their limbs, everything that they did. So when it gets to ayin tachat ayin, it makes sense that there's a value that's applied to each of these components of our bodies. So the Vilna Gaon has just a secondary hint that I thought was kind of cool, and he says it says ayin tachat ayin. It shouldn't have said tachat. It should have used a different word. Tachat means underneath. So he says if you look at the letters of ayin, yud, and nun, look at the letters that come after each of those letters. So ayin, yud, nun, the letters are like after the yud is a chaf, for example. So the three letters that come out are chaf, samach, and pei, kesef, money. And so it's a kind of a cool remnant to tell you that the whole notion of what's underlying the story here is that money is unfortunately it's the value that you can apply to not just your limbs but everything. Even the ending of the Beit Hamikdash is you're going to need money to run the Beit Hamikdash. Unfortunately, money is a big component of things. So let's not get clouded too much by money this week, and have a great week. There you go.